to ask how my golf game is going and tells me all about his. But then I have to be reminded that I'm in school and I have to come back. When we play golf together, if I'm not on his team, he'll try to get inside of my head. And he's always surprised that I don't let him get to me. But I have to remind him I'm a trunk too. Going through all of these court cases, he always asks me how I'm doing. He always encourages me to push myself to be the most successful person I can be. Obviously, he sets the bar pretty high, but who knows, maybe one day I'll catch him.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
On Saturday, I was shocked when I heard that he has been shot, and I just wanted to know if it was okay. It was heartbreaking that someone would do that to another person. A lot of people are from my grandpa can tell, and he's still standing.
Yes! Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Grandpa, you are such an inspiration, and I love you.
Yes.
The media makes my grandpa seem like a different person, but I know him for who he is. He's very caring and loving. He truly wants the best for this country, and he will fight every single day to make America great again.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Fight! Woo!
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that. That's not easy. That's the first time. I mean, this is a large crowd for a speech, so incredibly work time. Now, back to business. Thank you, sir. Tonight we gather here in Milwaukee at one of the most crucial moments in American history. Just days ago, something that once seemed unimaginable became a terrifying reality. My father came under literal fire as an incredible, patriotic rally turned into a tragedy. On a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, a brave firefighter died. Others were injured, and as those bullets rained down, we came millimeters away from one of the darkest moments in our nation's history. But we did lose an American hero that day. We wish that he were with us tonight. But his memory will live on forever in the hearts of his family, his community, and the nation that he loved.
Yes!
Now, I would like to take just a moment tonight to express our gratitude for the life and service of American hero, Corey Comparatore.
Woo! Corey! 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 Corey!
They say you can't truly know how you'll respond in a moment of danger until you're actually confronted with it. So what was my father's instinct as his life was on the line?
Yes.
Not to cower, not to surrender, but to show for all the world to see that the next American president has the heart of a lion.
Yes!
once again.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And in that moment, my father didn't just show his character. He showed America's character.
He did.
When he stood up with blood on his face and the flag on his back, the world saw a spirit that could never be broken. And that is the true spirit of America. America knows what it's like to be down. We know what it's like to be confused and to be afraid. Long before the attempt on my father's life, every American I met was filled with fear and anxiety. They were afraid our country was being torn apart. They were anxious about the massive and chaotic invasion of illegal aliens across our border. They were deeply concerned about partisan lawfare, education indoctrination, and attacks on freedom of speech. Most terrifying of all, they saw that our leaders didn't care, or worse, that they joyfully aided and abetted the erosion of our rights.
That's right.
And the lies. Oh yeah, the lies.
Oh, yeah.
We won't ever forget the lies. From left-wing politicians, from their allies in the media. When you hear them in a row, you fully understand the extent they have gone to divide this great nation. They lied about Russia collusion. They lied about Hunter's laptop. They lied about Joe Biden's fitness for office. They lied about the border being secure. They lied about inflation being transitory.
Yep.
They lied about how to safely withdraw from Afghanistan. They lied about Biden being a, quote, moderate.
Lies.
And they told one nonstop lie after another about my father. But they could only run away from reality for so long. All hell has broken loose in America, and it's impossible to hide anymore.
Yes.
Remember Build Back Better? Instead, we got broke, bumbling Biden. Nothing is built, nothing is back, and nothing is better. Bridges are collapsing, our credibility is crumbling, and our money is worth less and less every single day. It was just one giant bait switch, and normal Americans are the ones left holding the bag.
That's right.
Housing costs, gasoline prices, grocery bills just keep going up. Wave after wave of illegal aliens, deadly drugs keep pouring across our border. Meanwhile, pro-crime district attorneys have turned our cities into giant crime zones. They've turned criminals into victims, prosecutors into criminal defense attorneys, and police into public enemies. Left-wing activists are pretending to be educators, teaching our kids that there are 57 genders. But they can't even define what a woman is.
Tổng thống Trump đang ngồi ngay đây nè mọi người.
On one hand, they think free speech protects their right to expose your children to explicit drag shows. On the other hand, they want to put you in jail for making a meme. It's like the entire world has been turned upside down. Does any of this sound like a country that's going in the right direction?
No.
And honestly, who is actually running the country?
Right.
It's obviously not Joe Biden.
No.
So who are they asking to run?
Obama.
Who's running this?
Obama. Obama.
Is it Jill?
No.
Hunter?
No.
Barack Obama?
Yes.
Maybe it's the ghost of corn pop.
Woo.
The only thing they are effective at is persecuting my father.
Yep.
Right.
They twisted, contorted, and corrupted the criminal code to turn bookkeeping errors into felonies. They concocted new legal theories out of thin air. They imposed gag orders on my father because the last thing a defendant should be able to do is defend himself.
Right. Exactly.
They punished him for merely speaking the truth. They say they hate Vladimir Putin, but it sure seems like they spent a lot of time copying his playbook.
Oh, yes.
In this country, we don't criminalize political differences. We debate them. We vote on them.
Yep.
But we don't make you choose between picking a party or picking a jail cell.
Yeah.
There was a time when the Democrats really wanted what was best for America, even if they had a different way of getting there. It was the party of Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. You may have disagreed with that party, but at least you could respect it. But this new extreme Democrat party, they want us to somehow believe that the only way forward is going backwards. Where hiring decisions are based solely on race. Where justice is only for those with the right opinions. Where streets are a luxury only for the elite. Where economic opportunity exists only when you know the right people. Right now, the America we all grew up with, the America that we love, feels like an old photograph, where you sit down with your children and tell them what life used to be like. You look back at that America and remember a country that was confident and proud, an America that knew who it was and what it stood for. And it can all feel like a distant memory. Somewhere along the way we stumbled. Somewhere along the way we lost ourselves. But we can't live on nostalgia. Yes, America was great, but our greatest days are yet to come.
Right. Amen.
Because no matter how far off that old photo may feel, it's not the end of our story. We're like that man who stood on that platform and felt the bullet pierce his flesh just days ago in Pennsylvania. He may have moved to the ground, but he stood back up.
Yes.
And when he did, my father raised his fist into the air. He looked out like a
Yes.
Fire! 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 Fire!
And we will fight. We will fight. We will fight with our voices. We will fight with our ideas. And on November 5th, we will fight with our vote.
Yes!
I've always been proud of America, but I've never been prouder of my father than I was in that moment. That's when the world found out that there is tough, and then there's Trump tough. And the good news is, America is Trump tough.
Hell! Woo!
1 mile from where we stand tonight, Teddy Roosevelt was struck by a would-be assassin's bullet. But he didn't quit either. He finished his speech and he kept fighting. My friends, I don't believe in coincidence, but I do believe in God's plan.
Yes!
Today, Teddy Roosevelt's man in the arena has a name, and it's Donald J.
Trump! Woo! Woo!
Remember, my father didn't have to run for re-election this year. He doesn't need the money, the fame, the power, frankly. He doesn't need the witch hunts, the phony investigations, or the political prosecutions either. But he knew he had to run if there was any chance at saving America.
Yes.
He's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for everyone here tonight, for everyone watching at home. No matter who you are, you can be a part of this movement to make America great again.
Yes.
Look at me and my friend J.D. Vance. I came from Appalachia and I came from Trump Tower in Manhattan.
Woo!
We grew up worlds apart. Yet now, we're both fighting side by side to save the country we love.
Yes!
And by the way, J.D. Vance is going to make one hell of a vice president.
Woo! Woo!
For those of you who have tuned out politics or have never even voted, I want you to know you're looking for a better life, a more prosperous future, a safe, more wholesome and patriotic place to call home. There's room for you in this party and in this movement. In fact, you're the ones who matter most of all. My father has always said that the people he gets along with best are the people who really work for a living. It's because of his background as a builder in construction. Right? In construction, it doesn't matter how smart your architect is if you don't have the best guys laying the bricks. People with grit. People who get their hands dirty. That's a big problem with Washington, D.C. Most of the bureaucrats who rule over us have never built anything in their lives. It's time to build something real, something tangible, something that will last and leave this country better off for our children. That's my father's mission. We have a choice. It's a choice between one team that wants to build this country up and another that wants to tear this country down.
No.
That's right.
It's a choice between people who are proud of America and people who are ashamed of America. And ultimately, it's a choice between America last and America first. So if you love this country from the bottom of your heart, if you want to bring back common sense, if you want to save the American dream, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect my father, Donald J.
Trump!
Yes!
Woo! America, right? Okay. Yeah! Vote Trump! Vote Trump! Woo! Vote Trump! Yo!
It's nothing short of a miracle that GES is a household name. United States Senator, Vice President.
Đó,
Here he is. Born
DJ fan á.
his family torn apart by drug addiction. No money, no prospects, no future. Jamie joined the Marine Corps, used the GI Bill to attend college, then went to Yale and earned a law degree and shared his heartbreaking story in a best-selling book. Only in America is this story possible. But today, for many families, the American dream is now gone. And this legacy of the team tough enough to bring him back. J.D. Vance understands that working families have become the forgotten families. Under Biden, wages are going down while prices skyrocket, forcing the majority of Americans to live paycheck to paycheck. Working families will have J.D. Vance fighting for them. Seniors, J.D. will have your backs too. No more deciding between putting food on the table and paying for the prescriptions you need. As a husband and father, J.D. knows the importance of fighting for a parent's money to protect their children. And you can count on this Marine to stand up for our soldiers who put their lives on for their country every day. J.D. Vance's story is one of perseverance, of duty, of commitment to what's right. It's an American story, and it's just getting started.
What happened?
Good
evening.
When I was asked to introduce my husband, J.D. Vance, to all of you,
Oh, okay.
I was at a loss. What could I say that hasn't already been said before? After all, the man was already the subject of a Ron Howard movie. J.D. has shared much of his life through his own development words. In his book, Hillbilly Elegy, during his Senate campaign, and now as a sitting United States Senator. It occurred to me that there was only one thing to do: to explain from the heart why I love and admire J.D. and stand here beside him today, and why he will make a great Vice President of the United States. I met J.D. in law school when he was fresh out of Ohio State, which he attended with the support of the GI Bill. We were friends first because, who wouldn't want to be friends with J.D.? He was then, as now, the most interesting person I knew. A working class guy who had overcome childhood traumas that I could barely fathom to end up at Yale Law School. A tough Marine who had served abroad, but whose idea of a good time was playing with puppies and watching a movie Babe. The most determined person I knew with one overriding ambition: to become a husband and a father, and to build the kind of tight-knit family that he had longed for as a child. My background is very different from J.D.'s. I grew up in San Diego, in a middle-class community, with two loving parents, both immigrants from India, and a wonderful sister. That J.D. and I could meet at all, let alone fall in love and marry, is a testament to this great country. It is also a testament to J.D., and it tells you something about who he is. When J.D. met me, he approached our differences with curiosity and enthusiasm. He wanted to know everything about me, where I came from, what my life had been like. Although he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy, he adapted to my vegetarian diet and learned to cook food from my mother, Indian food. Before I knew it, he had become an integral part of my family, a person I could not imagine living without. The J.D. I knew then is the same J.D. you see today, except for that beard. And his goals in this new role are the same that he has pursued for our family: to keep people safe, to create opportunities, to build better life, and to solve problems with an open mind. It's safe to say that neither JD nor I expected to find ourselves in this position, but it's hard to imagine a more powerful example of the American dream. A boy from Middletown, Ohio.
Ohio.
Raised by his grandmother through tough times, chosen to help lead our country through some of its greatest challenges. I am grateful to all of you for the trust you have placed in him and in our family. And with that, it is my great privilege to introduce my husband and the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance.
Vice President đấy quý vị. Will be the Vice President.
Go!
First of all, aren't I lucky guy? Isn't she lovely? Amazing? Greetings, Milwaukee, my fellow Americans and my fellow Republicans. My name is JD Vance from the great state of Ohio. Tonight, you guys, we're going to chill with the Ohio. We're going to win Michigan too. So. My friends, tonight is not a hope. A celebration of what America once was, a race, what it will soon be again. And it is a reminder of the sacred duty we have to preserve the American experiment, to choose for our children and grandchildren. But as we meet tonight, we cannot forget that this evening could have been so much different. Instead of a day of celebration, this could have been a day of faith. Last 8 years, President Trump told them love them and made sure to give each of them. Sorry, guys. I want to respond to his call for unity myself. We have a big tent on everything from national security to economic policy. But my message to you, my fellow Republicans, is we love this country and we are united to win. make us stronger. That's what I've learned in my time in the United States Senate, where sometimes I persuade my colleagues and sometimes they persuade me. And my message to my fellow Americans, those watching from across the country, is shouldn't we be governed by a party that is unafraid to debate ideas and come to the best solution?
Yes, we should.
That's the Republican Party of the next 4 years, united in our love for this country and committed to free speech and the open exchange of ideas. And so tonight, Mr. Chairman, I stand here humbled, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to say I officially accept your nomination to be Vice President. I grew up in Middletown, Ohio. A small town where people spoke their minds, built with their hands, and loved their God, their family, their community, and their country with their whole hearts. But it was also a place that had been cast aside and forgotten by America's ruling class in Washington. When I was in the 4th grade, a career politician by the name of Joe Biden supported NAFTA, a bad trade deal that sent countless good jobs to Mexico.
Yes, it did.
When I was a sophomore in high school, that same career politician named Joe Biden gave China a sweetheart trade deal that destroyed even more good American middle-class manufacturing jobs. When I was a senior in high school, that same Joe Biden supported the disastrous invasion of Iraq, and at each step of the way, in small towns like mine in Ohio, or next door in Pennsylvania or Michigan, in states all across our country, jobs were sent overseas, and our children were sent to war. And
You must go! 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 You must go!
I agree. And somehow, a real estate developer from New York City by the name of Donald J. Trump was right on all of these issues while Biden was wrong. President Trump knew even then that we needed leaders who would put America first. Now, thanks to these policies, Biden and other out-of-touch politicians in Washington gave us, our country was flooded with cheap Chinese goods, with cheap foreign labor, and in the decades to come, deadly Chinese fentanyl. Joe Biden screwed up. In so many ways, a woman of contradiction. I was spending too much time with a local kid who was known for dealing. After Ohio State, I went to Yale Law School, where I met my beautiful wife. And then I started businesses to create jobs in the kind of places that I grew up in. Now, my work taught me that there is still so much talent and grit in the American heartland. There really is. But for these places to thrive, my friends, we need a leader who fights for the people who built this country. Some people tell me I've lived the American dream. Of course, they're right, and I'm so grateful for it. But the American dream that always counted most was not starting a business, or becoming a senator, or even being here with you fine people, though it's pretty awesome. My most important American dream was becoming a judge. Kids, if you're watching, Daddy loves you very much, but it's in bed. It's 10 o'clock. But my friends, things did not work out well for a lot of kids I grew up with. I will give all back so much. Years ago, and as always, America's ruling class wrote the checks, like line paid the price. For decades, that divide between the few with their power and comfort in Washington and the rest of us has only widened. From Iraq to Afghanistan, from the financial crisis to the Great Recession, from open borders to stagnating wages, the people who govern this country have failed and failed again.
True.
That is, of course, until a guy named Donald J. Trump came along. President Trump represents America's last best hope to restore what, if lost, may never be found again. A country where a working class born far from the halls of power can stand on this stage as the next Vice President of the United States of America. But my fellow Americans here in this stage and watching at home, this moment is not about me. It's about all of us. It's about who we're fighting for. It's about the auto worker in Michigan wondering why out-of-touch politicians are destroying their jobs. It's about the factory worker in Wisconsin who makes things with their hands and is proud of American craftsmanship. It's about the energy worker in Pennsylvania and Ohio who doesn't understand why Joe Biden is willing to buy energy from tin pot dictators across the world when he could buy it from his own citizens right here in our own country.
Real, baby, real. Real, baby, real. Real, baby, real. Woo!
You guys are great, right?
Vui lắm mọi người.
Well, drain the swamp. Yes, we are.
It's not about us, people. It's not about us.
Yes, we are.
And it's about, our movement is about single moms like me who struggle with money and addiction but never gave up. And I'm proud to say that tonight my mom is here. 10 years. It'll be 10 years officially in January of 2025. And if President Trump's okay with it, let's have a celebration in the White House. And our movement, ladies and gentlemen, it's about grandparents all across this country who are living on Social Security and raising grandchildren they didn't expect to raise. But while we're on the topic of grandparents, let me tell you another one. Now, my grandma died shortly before I left for Iraq in 2005. And when we went through her things, we found 19 loaded handguns. The thing is, they were stashed all over her house, under her bed, in her closet, and the silverware. And we wondered what was going on, and it occurred to us that towards the end of her life, Grandma couldn't get around so much. And so this real old woman made sure that no matter where she was within arm's length of whatever she needed to protect herself.
USA! 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 USA!
Joe Biden of the corrupt Washington United. Created the greatest economy in history for workers. It really was amazing. There's this chart, and they stagnated for pretty much my entire life until President Donald J. Trump came along. Workers' wages went through the roof. And just imagine what he's going to do when we give him 4 more years.
Yep. 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
Months ago, I heard some young family members observe that their parents' generation, baby boomers, could afford to buy a home when they first started working. But I don't know this person observed if I'll ever be able to afford a home. The absurd cost of housing is the result of so many failures, and it reveals so much about what's broken in Washington. I can tell you exactly how it happened. Wall Street barons crashed the economy, and American builders went out of business. As tradesmen scrambled for jobs, houses stopped being built. The lack of good jobs, of course, led to stagnant wages. And then the Democrats flooded this country with millions of illegal aliens. So citizens had to compete with people who shouldn't even be here for precious housing. Joe Biden's inflation crisis, my friends, is really an affordability crisis. And many of the people that I grew up with can't afford to pay more for groceries, more for gas, more for rent, and that's exactly what Joe Biden's economy has given them. So prices soared, dreams were shattered, and China and the cartels sent fentanyl across the border, adding addiction to the heartache. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of our story. We've heard about villains and their victims. I've talked a lot about that, but let me tell you about the future. President Trump's vision is so simple and yet so powerful. We're done, ladies and gentlemen, catering to Wall Street. We'll commit to the working hands. We're done importing foreign labor. We're going to fight for American citizens and their good jobs and their good work. We're done buying energy from countries that hate us. We're going to get it right here from American workers in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, We're done sacrificing supply chains to unlimited global trade, and we're going to stamp more and more products with that beautiful label, made in the USA.
USA, 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 USA.
We're going to build factories again, put people to work making real products for American families made with the hands of American workers. Together, we will protect the wages of American workers and stop the Chinese Communist Party from building their middle class on the backs of Americans. Together, we will make sure our allies share in the burden of securing world peace. No more free rides for nations that betray the generosity of the American taxpayer. Together, we will send our kids to war only when we must. But as President Trump showed with the elimination of ISIS and so much more, when we punch, we're going to punch hard. Together, we will put the citizens of America first, whatever the color of their skin. We will, in short, make America great again. You know, one of the things that you hear people say sometimes is that America is an idea. And to be clear, America was indeed founded on brilliant ideas like the rule of law and religious liberty, things written into the fabric of our Constitution and our nation. But America is not just an idea. It is a group of people with a shared history and a common future. It is, in short, a nation. Now, it is part of that tradition, of course, that we welcome newcomers. But when we allow newcomers into our American family, we allow them on our terms.
Yes.
That's the way we preserve the continuity of this project from 250 years past to hopefully 250 years in the future. And let me illustrate this with this story, if I may. I'm, of course, married to the daughter of South Asian immigrants in this country. Incredible people. People who genuinely have enriched this country in so many ways. And of course, I'm biased because I love my wife and family, but it's true. Now, when I proposed to my wife, we were in law school, and I said, honey, I come with $120,000 worth of law school debt and a cemetery plot on a mountainside in eastern Kentucky. I guess standing here tonight, it's just gotten weirder and weirder. But that's what she was given. Now that cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky is near my family's ancestral home. And like a lot of people, we came from the mountains of Appalachia and the factories of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Now that's Kentucky coal country, one of the 10... Now, it's one of the 10 poorest counties in the entire United States of America. They're very hardworking people, and they're very good people. They're the kind of people who would give you the shirt off their back even if they can't afford enough to eat. And our media calls them privileged and looks down on them. But they love this country, not only because it's a good idea, but because in their bones they know that this is their home. And it will be their children's home, and they would die fighting to protect it.
Good.
That is the source of America's greatness. As a United States Senator, I get to represent millions of people in the great state of Ohio with similar stories, and it is the great honor of my life. Now, in that cemetery, there are people who were born around the time of the Civil War. And if, as I hope, my wife and I are eventually laid to rest there, and our kids follow us, there will be 7 generations just in that small mountain cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky. 7 generations of people who have fought for this country, who have built this country, who have made things in this country, and who would fight and die to protect this country if they were asked to. Now that's not just an idea, my friends. That's not just a set of principles. Even though the ideas and the principles are great, that is a homeland. That is our homeland. People will not fight for abstractions, but they will fight for their home. And if this movement of ours is going to succeed, and if this country is going to thrive, our leaders have to remember that America is a nation and its citizens deserve leaders who put its interests first. Now, we won't agree on every issue, of course, not even in this room. We may disagree from time to time about how best to reinvigorate American industry and renew American family. That's fine. In fact, it's more than fine. It's good. But never forget that the reason why this United Republican Party exists, why we do this, why we care about those great ideas and that great history, is that we want this nation to thrive for centuries to come. Now, eventually, that mountain cemetery, my children will lay me to rest. And when they do, I would like them to know that thanks to the work of this Republican Party, the United States of America is as strong and as proud and as great as ever.
Yes.
That is who we serve, my friends. That is who we fight for, and the only thing that we need to do right now, the most important thing that we can do for those people, for that American nation that we all love, is to re-elect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
Woo!
Mr. President, I will never take for granted the trust you have put in me. What an honor it is to help achieve the extraordinary vision that you have for this country. I pledge to every American, no matter the party, I will give you everything I have to serve you and to make this country a place where everything that you have for yourself, your family, and your country will be possible once again. I promise you one more. To the people of Middletown, Ohio, and all forgotten communities, in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, and every corner of our nation, I promise you this. I will be a vice president who never forgets where he came from. And every single day for the next 4 years when I walk into that White House to help President Trump, I will be doing it for you, for your family, for your future, and for this great country. Thank you. God bless all of you.
Thank you.